My boyfriend let my stalker ex into our apartment to decorate for my birthday. Then I discovered he was catfishing my ex on fake accounts, telling him to keep stalking me because he thought watching him fail was funny. I'd been with Hollis for 2 years when my birthday came around in October. He'd been weirdly secretive for a week, smiling at his phone, telling me not to come home before 7 p.m. on Friday. I assumed surprise party, maybe a ring. I went into work that day floating. My ex Tucker had been stalking me for 3 years. He started 2 months after I broke up with him in college, when I found out he'd been logging into my email. First it was showing up at my coffee shop, then sitting outside my dorm, then a restraining order that he violated 4 times. He'd been arrested twice, did 6 months once, and then went quiet for a year before Hollis and I moved in together. The week before my birthday, I'd seen Tucker's car parked across the street from our building twice. I told Hollis. He said I was being paranoid. He kissed my forehead and said, "I'd never let anything happen to you." I came home from work at 6:30 because I forgot my charger. The lights were off in the apartment. I unlocked the door quietly because I was still expecting a surprise. I heard 2 voices in the kitchen. One of them was Hollis, the other one was Tucker. I froze in the entryway. Tucker was laughing about something. He said, "Bro, you have no idea how funny it is. I've been telling that guy to keep messaging her. Keep driving by, keep watching." Hollis laughed back. "Dude, the restraining order alone, I'm dying. He thinks she still wants him." Tucker again. He sent me a 6-paragraph essay last week about how she's signaling to him through her Instagram captions. I told him to keep decoding them. I stood there in the dark hallway holding my keys so hard the metal cut into my palm. They kept talking. I realized Tucker wasn't the one watching me. Whoever the real stalker was, Hollis had been catfishing him for over a year, pretending to be me, sending him photos and locations and reasons to keep going. Tucker, the actual ex, was just here helping decorate because he and Hollis had somehow become friends. I backed out of the apartment without making a sound. I sat in my car for 20 minutes shaking. Then I called my older sister Bernadette. She picked up on the first ring. I told her everything I'd heard. She said one word, drive. I drove to her house. We sat on her couch and she pulled out a notebook. "We're going to figure out who the real stalker is, and then we're going to figure out what Hollis has been doing, and then we're going to handle this." I told her about the parked car, the Instagram captions, the grocery store sightings. Bernadette knew Tucker from college. She knew his car. The car I'd been seeing wasn't Tucker's. It was a dark blue sedan. Tucker drove a red truck. The next morning, Bernadette called her friend Kennard, who worked in cybersecurity. We brought him my old laptop, the one that had been in Hollis's office for the past year while I used a newer one. Kennard found 3 things on it in under an hour. A keystroke logger Hollis had installed, 47 fake social media accounts, and a folder of screenshots Hollis had been collecting. Messages he'd sent to a man named Erskine, a former coworker of mine I'd barely known, who had developed an obsession with me at a holiday party 3 years ago. I'd reported it to HR. Erskine had been fired. I hadn't thought about him since. Hollis had found him online, befriended him under a fake name, and slowly fed him the belief that I was secretly in love with him, and that my boyfriend was forcing me to stay. He'd given Erskine my work schedule, my gym, our address, every photo of me he'd ever taken. There were over 2,000 messages. The most recent one was from that morning. "She wants you to come to her birthday party tonight. The boyfriend will be in the bathroom at 8 p.m. You'll have 90 seconds. I called the police. Bernadette drove me to the station. We brought the laptop, the screenshots, the messages. 2 officers came back to my apartment with me at 7:45 p.m. Tucker opened the door confused. Hollis was lighting candles. Erskine pulled into the parking lot at 7:58 p.m. with a duffel bag. They arrested him in the lobby. Then they arrested Hollis at the dining table. Tucker stood in the kitchen holding a lighter and a birthday candle, frozen, looking at me like he was seeing a ghost. The officer asked Tucker if he wanted to give a statement about what he'd witnessed. Tucker nodded slowly. He looked at me and said, "I'm sorry for what I did to you in college. I didn't know any of this." I didn't say anything back. I just watched the candle in his hand burn down toward his fingers until he finally noticed and blew it out.